there, Libra. Welcome to your November 2024 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. I don't have any kind of outer lighting other than the natural light, so it looks a little dim on my end since it's an overcast day. We'll see if it's... I think it'll be okay overall. I might, maybe I'll create another file and do up-close videos, but for now, oh my gosh, multiple cards coming out for each position, so I leave them there. Oh. Seems like I have a lot of major arcana cards. The heart of the matter is the Mother of Wands, which is the Queen of Wands. And this is a card of... what came to my mind is taking charge of your creativity. Although it's a card of... It is a card to me of some authority of Wands type of... behaviors or activities, because the wands relates to the creative. It's the fire energy. So this card is supposed to be connected to Sagittarius. So it could be a Sagittarius person that you're dealing with. I connected to Leo, but you know, those are both fire signs, as is Aries. And this deck says mother instead of queen, because in the tarot, the queen can represent the mother, and we don't, you know, when we say mother, it doesn't have to be your biological mother. It could be your desire to mother a child or nurture a child. Maybe that dilemma. And that could be what's going on here, the dilemma of wanting to be in a career and wanting to do that. And one is the domestic side of life and one is the career side of life. So that fourth house, 10th house polarity playing itself out. But also, I would just say anything that is of a creative type of area of life, you may feel this desire to kind of, I would say build. The word that came into my mind is build on it. So especially if it's your own baby, your own business, that's the kind of thing that could be really speaking to you at this time. And again, this could be somebody that has a prominent Sagittarius or Leo in particular type of influence in their chart that you're involved with in some way. Doesn't have to be romantically related, but in some way. In the past position, we have the Four of Pentacles, which the past position card is meant to talk about the influences coming into this dilemma or focus that the first card represents. So the Four of Pentacles can be a card of financial security, or maybe the concern for financial security. I feel like when people are looking at starting a business, looking at embracing their creativity, the financial side, which Pentacles represent in general, especially four, which is a number of foundation, can really start to get like a loud chorus within yourself. And that makes sense because, you know, people have bills to pay. People have things, you know, financial obligations. But I feel like if people took put more emphasis on following their dreams rather than trying to have a mythical amount of money that's going to make them happy or feel secure so that they can do what they really want to do, they would be better off, because while they're trying to shore up their resources, who knows? You know, you never know what is going to happen in life. And I feel that we're always in a better place when we're happy. So whenever we cultivate happiness, even if it means like you cut your cost of living drastically and you live a very, very simple life, you could find that you're so much happier. And the other card is the Father of Swords, which is the King of Swords. And this is a very rational kind of, yeah, both of these cards in a way, because one of them is earth energy. The Pentacles is earth. So the King of Swords, that can be the part of you that is just crunching the numbers and not getting, you know, not allowing your emotions to really interfere with whatever it is that you're debating. And, you know, this also applies for people who want to start a family and they feel this sense of, and what came into my mind too was retire. Maybe some people wanted to retire earlier, but they because they do have these creative pursuits that they want to really devote a lot of attention to, but they talk themselves out of it for some reason. So, you know, when you think about starting a family, it is kind of time sensitive. And again, you know, depending on the type of lifestyle a person leads, that could really be something that is not in line with them, oh my gosh, alignment with them anyway. And they could be doing something for the wrong reasons. Libra is a sign that is, yeah, it's funny that I got King of Swords because the swords relate to the air signs like Libra. I always think the King of Swords is Aquarius because to me it's the ultimate detached sign, and Gemini is the other one. And the intellect can be deceiving because it can really convince us that it has all the answers. It can make a great case for something, but it isn't necessarily connected to our higher self. It's connected to me, it can be connected to our mundane, it can be our mundane mind, which is, you know, has been heavily conditioned too. To think certain things and to believe certain things. I haven't willingly watched television in like almost 15 and a half years, but I have seen it in public when I've been in certain spaces. And today I happened to, somebody flicked it on, and they had some kind of a show, and they were presenting this person as an expert in something. And that's kind of what they do. They tell us that, you know, there are experts in this world that we're supposed to listen to. And really, when you tune into yourself and you stop listening to this outer chorus, you will connect with your destiny if you do it long enough. I really believe that. But a lot of times people are asking other people, especially Libra, asking other people what they think about their life. Other people can't tell you about your life because they're not you. They can only project their own opinions and their own conditioning on what they think you should do, but that's not necessarily what you should do. So anyway, the higher oh boy, how perfect is this? The higher message, High Priestess. Yeah, I mean, this is be still and know. Again, tuning into that side. If you're not, and it's funny because they show a crystal ball. If you're a Libra person, maybe you like astrology and some other things, but you don't consider yourself religious, cultivating a spiritual practice, just starting out with a simple meditation can practice that you're doing regularly every day, can jumpstart you into tuning into higher wisdom. And this can make it easy for you to determine what it is that is really the best course of action for you to take. And then I also picked the Three of Wands. This was a card that came out at the same time. This is a card of expansion. This number 3 is a number of expansion, and fire is a number of expansion. So, unlike the Four of Pentacles, which can be very grounded and rather structured, fire is not structured. Fire can be wild. It can spread very quickly. It can, in other words, sometimes it can feel like it's out of control. But it is suggesting that you may be in one of these periods that is very creative and growth oriented. And are you embracing that? Or are you more like trying to force yourself to conform to something that feels safe, but doesn't feel like, you don't feel like you're growing. You don't feel the sense of enthusiasm. The Wands is connected to enthusiasm or joy and things like that. What crosses you is the Devil card. I love those hooves on fire. This card is connected to Capricorn, and it's a card of, I would say selling your soul for money, or it could be like for some people that they're overtaken by lust in a relationship, but for other people it can be that greed, or I wouldn't say necessarily with Libra that it's about greed. If you're doing a job because of the money, it's not necessarily greed. I just think it's complacency of being in that kind of comfortable space where a steady paycheck is easier than starting over again. And it's like there's a happy medium. Like if you know that this is not something you want to do forever, you can, but it's not so unbearable that, every day you feel like you're, sinking deeper and deeper into despair, or you're afraid that you're going to be physically impacted, negatively impacted by what your current circumstance is. If you can start working on your own passion project, that can go a long way in kind of like energizing yourself. You're going to experience the growth that is mentioned with this card. You're going to start to feel more hopeful, enthusiastic, really committed, but invested in what you're doing. What's coming in is the Ten of Pentacles. This is actually a card of big money. I keep saying this and I keep forgetting to do it, but I always, Pentacles are connected to earth energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I always think that this is Capricorn because Capricorn rules the 10th house. So I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I can say that this is one of the premier, probably the biggest card connected to inheritances. So whether that's something, we have these cards with the mother and the father. And so there could be family matters that are coming up for you that are producing this. And the other thing about it is that it's just big money, meaning that, to me, there's a saying, when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, that's a nice saying, but, even if you do something that you love, it still can take a lot of work, and it can even feel hard sometimes, because it's like maybe you're having to work a lot on the front end to get something up and running. Maybe you don't have help in the beginning because you don't have the resources to just pay an assistant or anything like that, but so you're doing it all yourself, but it still can feel like something that is giving to you, that it's not draining you, it's benefiting you greatly. This is a card of encouragement about potential wealth, no matter what it is that you're doing. And the outcome, another major arcana card, Wheel of Fortune. This is a card of, this idea of you see this, I just happen to notice that the sun is at the bottom and the moon is at the top. And the wheel, sometimes the Rider-Waite card shows a person falling off the wheel at the bottom, and then there's a person at the top. And it's really about cycles. And, sometimes we can be in this season of life where it feels like we're in this kind of a void, and nothing seems like it's happening, nothing good is happening. And then all of a sudden, everything seems to be aligned. And I mean, sometimes when you look back on it, you can clearly see that you directed that. Like somebody who's having a lot of problems and they have an addiction and they get sober, and then all of a sudden their life just turns around. They become much more successful in the world. They become a lot more, calm and happy, consistently happy. There's just like a lot of improvements that occur as a result of that one thing that they do. And then there are times when you have good things happen, and you can't really see like what's happened, but it's almost like you had to go through a certain phase of life. Maybe it was an initiation or a purging. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I think that cycle is over with. And I'm just not experiencing those same patterns anymore. And I didn't really do anything like, I didn't join some program. I didn't do anything. It just seemed like it disappeared. But of course, the thing that we did was we went through it. and that was, enough for us to gather information to understand that lesson, whatever that lesson was. So I feel like this is something for you as well, that maybe whatever the Mother or Queen of Wands represents for you, and whatever the devil, whatever this temptation is that is keeping you from that goal, that you have some kind of insight. Maybe you don't have complete faith that it can turn out the way that you want, but the Ten of Pentacles suggests otherwise. But ultimately, it's up to you to determine, like the Wheel of Fortune, what is going on in your life. Because maybe you have been coming out of a period that has felt very challenging. Maybe you've gotten divorced and you're alone for the first time in many years. And it seems like, you have to do everything from the beginning again. And yet, if you're doing your part, you may see some really, really great things coming to you as early as November to give you those signs that you're on the right track. Okay, Libra, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you'd like a private reading, I'm primarily an astrologer. I have package deals with my astrological readings. I have standalone readings in love, career, and, just like chart interpretation, the transits. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.